welcome to the next episode. In this one I plan on closing the case basically, getting the pinion bearing on, putting the sealant on and getting this case closed up so then we can move on to other things. Workshopping, and you'll be right, I'm actually in my dining room, and the reason that I'm in my dining room is because basically it's warmer in here, and with using sealant and the workshop's just freezing cold, so the metal is really cold to touch, and this stuff doesn't like to be in real cold temperatures anyway, so as long as I put a cover down on the dining table, I'm okay to go. I've actually already filmed this bit once, I can't lie, I've had this engine bolted together, but I made a big mistake. The way I read it in the manual was that the pinion bearing goes in once the cases are bolted together. That clearly wasn't the case. So yeah, I've got to go through it all again, which is cool. But that's okay, let's leave it in on there. So now we're at this point. I've cleaned these surfaces over with the wife's acetone and let it dry off for about, probably did that about 10-15 minutes ago. So the surface is nice and clean now and ready to take the sealant. Before we actually close this up, I need to get these measurements for the inner and the outer race. And I don't know if you remember back in a previous episode when I was able to throw up the guide, the chart of what the bearing sizes were and how we find them. So, using a micrometer, I'm not going to teach you how to use one of these, and I'm not even going to make you watch the whole process in real time. I'll zap it forward so you can see, get the gist of it, what happens. But basically, I need to measure this inner race here, the outer race here, and then compare it on the chart. From there, I'll be able to tell you what colour bearing is needed. So I'll speed it up and I've just got a pen and paper there so I can jot down my measurements as I go. Cool. Right, so that was that. The reason I used these gauges is because I don't have anything else to measure that internal diameter. So by measuring that and then getting the exact measurement off of the micrometer, because this particular one, with having the vernier gauge on it as well, the veneer gauge on it, sorry, main gauge, thimble and veneer. With having that, it lets me to get down to the 10,000ths of an inch, which is the kind of details that I need to be into. I need to be that specific. So I made my my notes here. My inner was 1.500, bang on, and my outer was 1.5647. So when I put that across to the chart, 1.5646 to 648 puts you in this one, and the 1.25 1.2500, sorry, I forgot to put the 2 in there, puts me there onto the green bearing. So this is the pinion bearing. It's they come dry and quite rattly as well, but this is the perfect size to fit over the pinion shaft into the inner race as well, yet still have just the right amount of play in there. Next job, now we've measured those and we've got the correct bearing selected, is using this Loctite. I now need to apply a bead all the way around the edge, and then I like to leave it for about 10 or 15 minutes for it just to start to tack off, and then I put all the bolts in loosely, so the two faces coming together. Leave it for about another 5 minutes before I then do them up fully. I read the manual and I've checked the torque settings for them, and it gives these. It's a bit weird. It gives these smaller bolts which go across the bottom here. It gives this torque setting in foot-pound, which is around, I think it's like the early 20s, like 20 something foot-pound. I think 28 foot-pound maximum, 16 to 28 foot-pound. That's how much you do these bolts up to. And then these ones, it goes in inch-pound. Once I did the conversion, it was like 70 inch-pounds. It come out at 5 something foot-pound, which is nothing. So I'm not gonna fanny about with the torque wrench. I'm just going to go in with Allen keys and just nip them up. I'm not going to do them up FT. You know, just sort of go a bit gingerly with them, and just get them nice and like just snug, and that should be perfect. I don't think I'm going to be lucky enough to make a Harley engine that doesn't leak. I've never seen a Harley engine that doesn't leak, but we can give it a good go, can't we? Yeah. So, like I say, first things first. We've got our Loctite 5980, which I believe to be the better of the gasket sealants that they do. There is another one that was recommended to me, but when I read the specification, it's designed to be applied by a machine, so like in factories where they have production lines. And then this is the version that should be applied by us, I suppose. So I'm going to put the bead on this side so I don't have to dodge around the flywheel and that on there, and then we'll offer the sides up and get it bolted down. So cool. Right, so there we go, there's the sealant applied. I'm not one for then, I see people sometimes with their finger, they push it about and they cover it. I'm not one for doing that. I just like to let it sit, let it do its thing. It's not pretty, but, I just realised I missed a little bit there. It's not pretty, but it does the job. Yeah, some bits are going to squidge out. I like to try and keep, you can see around the corner, I like to try and keep to the back edge so that as it does squidge, it squidges more out than it does in, so that it doesn't go into the engine case itself. So yeah, like I say, we'll give that about 5 or 10 minutes, come back to it, and then we'll drop the case on, put the pinion bearing in first, lube it up, and yeah, get it bolted down. So cool, see you in 5 minutes. Right, so it seems like I cut that video just at the right time now. As I walked off, the postman just turned up and the dogs went absolutely berserk, which is one of the downsides of recording indoors. So I went out and checked what he delivered, and stickers. I got some stickers from Tom's Custom Shop. You need to check this dude out on, he's got a YouTube channel, he's got an Instagram channel as well. He makes custom exhausts. He also does a little bit of bike fabrication work as well, but he's got some really good footage, and he does some some live music going in there as well. So he's also promoting like some local talent music, which is absolutely awesome. So yeah, go check him out. I'll put a link actually at the bottom of the video, and if I'm clever enough, I may even put one up sort of somewhere here. We'll see how that goes. Right, so this is at about I'd say about 10 minutes now. So next we're going to try and manoeuvre that case onto this case with the pinion bearing in. Loads of pre-lube, just so that we know that once this engine starts up, it's going to be well lubricated. It's not going to be like a dry start. So I'm absolutely coating the outside of this bearing. Ooh. Notice I didn't struggle with the lid that time. That's because the fucking thing doesn't come off. You just twist it, and that's it. That's what you do. It's on a numpty. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Let's try putting it that side and offering it on. Right. Moment of truth. This should. There it goes. Just got the locating pins to line up. There's one. And there's the other. Give it all a bit of a squeeze. And then start doing some bolts, I suppose. So I've got a new bolt set with this, or for this, not with it. Let's turn this around. Yep, I've got a new bolt set for this, so that everything, all the new hardware, have to be real careful with the Loctite, because you seem to squeeze it a little bit and then all of a sudden a shitload comes out. So you have these 4 large main bolts which go around this part of the case. Then you have these 3 smaller bolts which go in. Let's tilt the engine back. In these holes down here. Remember, whenever you're putting Loctite on something, don't go crazy with it. It may be you that has to undo them one day. So just start winding them in till they bite, just till they make contact. And where we've put that sealant close to the edge, we're just starting to get a bit of squidge come around there, which is perfect. These 2 bolts here I'm just going to be using. You would normally have the gearbox in there, but the gearbox hasn't been built yet, so no Loctite, because they have definitely got to come back out when the gearbox is done. But they're just there to apply a little bit of pressure on the back of the sealant. And again, just winding these down until they start to make contact. Don't go batshit crazy. just seated. So what I'll do now, give that another 5 minutes, and then I'll come back in and give it the final torque up. And that should be it. So slowly starting to get dark outside now, and I'm fighting with the light here. I'm not sure exactly how it's looking on the camera. It's one of the downsides to filming indoors rather than in the shed where I've got some extra lights and bits and pieces. So, like I said earlier on, I'm not going to go batshit crazy with these. They don't need to be done up FT. I'm just going to go around, just nipping them all up a little bit. The head of that bolt just seems to be a little bit off. Struggle to get the Allen key head in there. Where's that one? There we go. Swap to this one. Like I said, I'm not expecting to make the world's first Harley that doesn't leak. But if I can help prevent it, then it's always going to be a good thing. I'm just trying to think what we've got coming up in the next episode then. So, where do we go from here? Gearbox maybe? Get that built into the engine. Yeah. I'm going to start doing a few bits on the frame and the forks and that kind of stuff soon, so that once this is actually built, I can, rather than sitting around waiting on parts, bits that need to be shot blasted, powder coated, things like that should already be done by the time that they're needed. So the bike's going real basic. The wheels are going to be shot blasted, powder coated black. The frames are going to be also shot blasted and powder coated black. The forks, the Springer forks, the chrome on those is terrible. So we've got a little idea for those, something that the owner wants. So we'll be getting that done. I may even do those pretty soon actually, because that's going to be an easy job. Just need to order the finish for them. So just keep working my way around. Does a little bit more, a little bit more. But to be honest, I am happy with where that is at now. Just do these last two, and then the gearbox ones. Wicked. I'm going to stand it up. I know it means I'm going to end up squidging that sealant, but never mind. There's always a bolt left over. This always worries me. Why is there a bolt left over? I'm wondering if it's this drain one, you know, because there's no other bolts that are that small anywhere. What are you doing to me? Anyway. Last thing we have to do on this side, spin it around, is now that that pinion bearing is in, we just need to use the, just need to fit the clip, push it down, fit the clip just to stop it from falling out, and I'm hoping I can do this by hand. Going. Boom. It is in. Moment of truth, how well does this turn? That is silky smooth. There's no tight spots. The knocking is just the rod hitting against the side of the case, unfortunately. But that is absolutely magical. Well impressed. I just squeezed my dog barking, sorry. She wants to come out and investigate. Yeah. Right. Oh, both dogs have come to investigate now. So yeah, the pinion bearing is in. We can effectively bolt everything back onto the pinion shaft. There's a seal to go on the other side of the flywheel on that bearing there. The barrels have been off to the machine shop. They've been honed. I don't know if you remember the state of them, but they was bad, really bad. So I need to order a new set of piston rings so I can fit the barrels as well. But yeah, I mean, it's together. It looks like an engine. And we can celebrate. Can't we, Dotty Do? Yes. What do you think? Is that right? Yeah. Breath. Whew. Right. I know I've not said it all the time, and people keep telling me that I should be saying it, but please do like the video. At the bottom there's a little thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as well if this is the sort of thing that you're into and you want to see more and see the actual rest of the bike develop. Yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment at the bottom, and if you press that little bell as well, as videos and get uploaded, you'll get a notification to say that they're there and ready to be watched. I'm hoping that the episodes are going to start to be a little bit shorter, so we do little jobs. So like today, bolt the case, fit the pinion, nice short episode. And after that, they should get a little bit shorter. So not like the hour, the 30 minutes, 40 minutes that I've been pushing on that previously. But yeah, till the next one, thank you very much.